Hello, today I will briefly explain how postcolonialism, structuralism, and narratology help us to analyze literature in deeper, smarter ways. These three theories give us tools to read beyond the surface, not just what happens in a story, but how and why it is told that way. Postcolonialism looks at how literature represents colonized people and cultures. It examines the power dynamics between colonizers and the colonized, showing how voices and identities are shaped and often silenced by history. European stories often describe non-Europeans as exotic or savage, while postcolonial literature fights back by giving voice to the oppressed. Edward Said in Orientalism explained how the Western represent Eastern cultures as weak or mysterious to justify control. Homi Bhabha introduced ideas like hybridity, how colonized people blend cultures, and mimicry, where they imitate the colonizer in a way that resists. And Spivak asked, "Can the subaltern speak?" She showed how the most oppressed often are not heard, even when they speak. Postcolonial theory helps us to ask whose story is told and who gets silenced. In Heart of Darkness, African characters barely speak. The story is European, yet it critiques colonialism by exposing its violence and moral emptiness. Structuralism sees literature as part of a system. Just like language has rules, the stories follow structures, like plot types and character roles. Meaning is not just in one story, but in how it connects to others. Ferdinand de Saussure said that words are signs made of a signifier, the sound, and a signified, the idea. Claude Lévi-Strauss found shared patterns in myths like binary oppositions, good versus evil, or male versus female. And Roland Barthes said that readers, not authors, create meaning, which he called the death of the author. Using structuralism, we spot oppositions or patterns. For example, in Romeo and Juliet, we see love versus hate, life versus death. These oppositives shape the meaning. The focus is not on the author's feelings, but on how the story fits into a system of signs. And narratology studies how stories are told. Not just what they say, who speaks, when do events happen, what does the reader know. It's like studying the engine behind the storytelling. Another type of key figures are Gerard Genette, who looked at time, narrative voice, and focalization, who sees the story. And Vladimir Propp found common functions in folk tales, the hero's journey, villains, rewards. In Heart of Darkness, for example, Mother's journey fits the hero quest, but instead of a reward, he returns with a dark truth about human nature. The structure itself questions the typical hero tale. So, each story helps us read differently. Postcolonialism, who has power and whose voice matters. Structuralism, what matters or oppositions build meaning. And narratology, how is the story told, and how does the shape of what we understand.